Alright guys, welcome to my second Randy Cunningham Q&A. I want to thank everyone for sending in questions. As always, if I did not answer someone's question, then it was either marked as spam or didn't show up at all. Also, as always, if the mic sounds a little weird during these Q&As, that's because these Q&As do tend to run a while, and it does get very hot in my room, so yeah, that's why if the audio sounds a little different, that's because it's picking up the air from my fan. Anywho, so let's start this Q&A off, shall we? Starting off with Billy McCary, who I hope I'm saying that last name right. But Billy's first question is, who would you put Randy in a hero-villain mashup with the Hand or Shredder of the Foot Clan and Spymaster? I don't know. We'll see what the future holds. Second question: would Randy get if Randy Cunningham got a sequel? What would you call it? Randy Cunningham 10th Grade Ninja? I don't know. I'd prefer a second season rather than a straight-up sequel. How about that? Third, what happens if Randy appears in the Marvel Universe or the DC Universe? It'd be cool either way, but preferably, since he's a Disney character, I think it would be Marvel first. Anyway. So moving right along to Austin Smedley. Hope I'm saying that last name right, but I do apologize if I mess up these names. Austin asks, what is your favorite episode, and do you cringe at some of the slang in the show? Well, for the slang, it actually is kind of fun. It's like, I know this show was meant. It's kind of clear that they wanted to do more of a grown-up show, but had to limit themselves for a young audience. So I kind of enjoy it because they know how to use this slang for the show and know how to use it well and not constantly drown it out with and just make it kind of annoying. They actually knew how to use it in the right places. Like I think one of my favorite times they did that was when basically there's the episode where everyone gets hypnotized by the sorcerer trying to find one of the sorcerer balls. And Howard finds the ball, and then he sees that everyone zombified is coming after him. He just goes, "Oh, shoot me sideways." I just thought that was tons of fun. I just thought that was a great one. My favorite episode would have to be the body switch episode. Now, I'm not really a fan of body switching in general, but they knew how to make it fun, and this had some of the best jokes in the show. Probably my favorite in the show. Period. Where after the whole ordeal where Randy had to fight the Nama Randy. So I like how they also make fun of the shipping. They make a light joke at the shipping names like Wienerham and all that. But yeah, after Randy has to use Howard's body to stop Howard's body from taking control. He has this joke where he goes, "Howard, when I was inside you," and Howard goes, "Don't say that, never say that again." I thought that was just great. I thought that was just absolutely great. So yeah, the body switch episode, I can't remember the name of the episode, but it's the one where Namacon takes over Randy's body, and he has to quintessentially just save the day in Howard's body, and it's hysterical. So yeah, this was a lot of fun. Yeah, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, that episode. I can't even remember the name of the fucking episode, too, either. But thank you for those questions, Austin. Moving on now to Tao T. Jones, who asks, who do you think is a better villain, Evil Julian or the Sorcerer? I have to say Evil Julian, because he actually could beat the Sorcerer. And, well, then again, he didn't really do much till the end of Season 2, and yeah, I'd say the Sorcerer was the better villain, because he actually was a constant threat, now that I think about it. But Evil Julian just showed up. I like the design of Evil Julian, though. Second question. How would the Gargoyles react if they met Randy? I think they would find him probably someone they would not want to hang out with on a constant basis. Except maybe, I think Lex and Broadway would probably have a lot of fun. Howard and Broadway would definitely get along. Third question. Who would win in a fight, Zim or Randy? Randy, no contest. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Tao. Moving on now to Sean Full Dark, who asks, The Ninja meets American Dragon, epic Marvel showdown, or world's greatest heroes? Definitely, this would be a great team-up. I could definitely see those two, especially like Randy asking Jake, hey, can I ride... I've always had a dream of riding a dragon. Can I just ride your back? No. Can I? No. Come on, man, don't be a shoob. Second question. Randy goes to the Attack on Titan universe. How many does he kill? You mean, maybe a few. Maybe a few, but then again, he'd probably be scared out of his wits because he's only fought robots and stanked people. Anyway, so yeah, those were all the questions. Moving on now to Mike Root, who asks, what would Lex Luthor think of McFist? I think Luthor would think McFist is a total bloody idiot. I think he would just absolutely think he is just a goddamn moron, more or less. He would just think he's an idiot. So thank you for that question, Mike. Moving on now to Jackie Lee, who asks, do you think Teresa Fowler should have been one of the supporting characters besides Howard from the beginning? Yeah, and it's very clear that they want, apparently they want, if they did Season 3, creators of the show did want them to get together, so, yeah, Fowler-Ham is, I guess, canon, so, yeah. That would, that makes sense. Yeah, totally. I wish she was one of the recurring characters, like a major supporting character, rather than one of behind-the-scenes characters. So, yeah, definitely her. Just kind of make it clear that she was the love interest from the get-go. Second question. What if Randy met Shizao? If you guys don't remember what Shizao was this Australian cartoon that was on the Hub, back when it was called the Hub. And it was basically a kid named Guy who gets a ring from his aunt that turns him into a female superhero, Shizao. It was pretty fun. I really enjoyed the show. Sorry to get some water. And it's, I think they would get along really great because they do have a lot of puns, and I think they would make fun of each other more or less. I think they would constantly be like, dude, do you have to put she in front of everything? Well, I'm not the one putting ninja in front of every one of his attacks and making up words. Oh, like, you don't do that. Anyway, so third question: would it be cool to see the Namicon manifest a human, be one of the supporting characters, and just look like one of the like the one in fan art of sorts? They've always kind of mentioned that the Namicon was probably first ninja. It was more than likely was first ninja. So maybe have it that he manifests himself in a human form, like how he looks in human form in some cases, but I think that would be a little too hokey. I prefer it if he was just a book. If he was just a book at, all the time. Anyway, so thank you for those questions, Jackie. Moving on now to Jalen, who asks, Randy and Howard transfer schools and to be one with Miles and Gank in what happens? I think Randy and Spider-Man would make an awesome team. Second question: What type of person would Randy pass the mantle of ninja to? He doesn't really have a say in that. The Namicon decides who is the next ninja. That's who it is. The predecessor can't pick, so I don't think Randy would be able to get a choice in picking necessarily. So unfortunately, the decision's not up to him. Third question: What's more hard to understand, the Namicon's teachings, or why Fox has given Fantastic Four to Marvel so he can get Galactus, Annihilus, and Kang? I would say the latter, because, yeah, that doesn't make sense either. Some of them are very blatantly... The Namicon's lessons are sometimes very blatantly easy. Randy just refuses to listen to him. Anyway, so thank you for those questions. Jalen. Moving on to Andrew Varney, who asks, Randy meets Penn, Boone, and Sashi. What happens next? They go on an epic adventure, and I think Randy and Penn would be awesome friends, and Boone and Howard would also be really awesome, and Sashi would just be like, I fucking hate all of you. Second question: Randy Cunningham, Phineas and Ferb crossover. What happens? I think maybe like McFist is getting tired of Viceroid's robots, so he basically makes a Craigslist ad online to look for a new mad scientist, and Doofenshmirtz shows up to take his place, and all of its robots are even worse. So that's kind of how I kind of see it. Third question. Randy reacts to the following: Sans and Papyrus, The Doctor, Main Six, Zorro, One Piece, da 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 da. Okay. I think it would be a collective whoa on all of them. I think it would be a collective whoa on all of them, especially Tommy from the Green Ranger, because it's Tommy, the Green Ranger. Need I say more? Thank you for those questions, Andrew. Moving on now to Roz Mystica 1, who asks, what do you think would be like if the show was a bit more serious? I think it would be a little more darker, and I think they wanted to go a little more darker. And it does have a feel of Daredevil, a mixture of Spider-Man and Daredevil. And the reason why I say Daredevil is because, he's got the fat friend, he's got the chunky, sarcastic and witty friend, much like, how Foggy is to Matt. He's also, he's basically a ninja, just like Daredevil, and he has a blind master teaching him. Not just the Nomicon, but S. Ward Smith, pretty much like Stick, who's this art-ass teacher, more or less. Yeah, that's kind of how I see it. Anyway, so it'd probably be a little more like Marvel's Daredevil if it was a little more serious in a nutshell. Second question: pick an anime style that the show might look cool in. I would say the animation style that's behind Black Lagoon. That would be pretty awesome, or Attack on Titan. One of those two. Third question: have any questions about the lore? Yeah, I want to know how First Ninja became the Nomicon, because it's very blatantly obvious that he is the book. I just wanted to know how. Anyway, so thank you for those questions, Roz. Moving on now to Alexander Anayas, who asks, Randy enters the Mortal Kombat tournament to defend Earthrealm. How well does that play out? Not well, because Randy's used to fighting, not intelligent hand-to-hand fighters, so someone like Scorpion or Kano would definitely whip his ass constantly, and he'd have to get used to killing. Second question: what would you like to see in Season 3 if we ever get one? Randy and Teresa finally getting together, just kind of wanting that happening. I'd also like to see what the hell the character known as the Creep. What did he mean by that? Was he part of an organization? Was he part of a demon cult? What kind of battle was he talking about for Randy? That's what I want to know. Third question: if Randy had to get a new ninja training and new martial arts teacher, who do you think would be the best trainer for him? I'd say Stick. Yeah, definitely Stick would be his new teacher, because he would probably whip Randy into shape, like just be a total asshole and just beat the shit out of him, and just teach him to be a new kind of warrior. Sorry, I had to get some water. Anyway, so thank you for those questions, Alexander Anayas. Moving on now to Travis Rendon, who asks, do you think that the Ninja Turtles and Master Splinter would consider Randy an honorable person for the title of Ninja? Yeah, maybe, but he and Mikey would definitely, no one would be safe from his and Mikey's collective antics. Second question: what do you think is the deal with the cowboy hat guy that always appears in episodes somewhere, and do you think he was a ninja previously before Randy, and the Nomicon wanted to pass him the book? Oh, yeah, I've heard that theory that the character known as the Creep, that always watches Randy from the background, that he was a previous ninja. I'm willing to believe that. But yeah, I guess we'll never know until we get a Season 3, which we don't know. Third question: out of all the side characters, who would you have be the third best friend to be with Randy and Howard? I'd pick Teresa. Definitely, because we need that super cute love interest for Randy. Alright. So thank you for those questions, Travis. Moving on now to Nicholas Harley, who asks, what do you like most about the show? I like its humor, and I love the action in it, and the characters are very well written. There's a lot of fun, great humor to it, and I just absolutely love where the show goes most of the time, where it's just so hyperkinetic some of the time. Anyway. Second question. Since it's getting 2 seasons, what do you think? Is it getting 2 seasons? I thought it just ended Is it getting 2 seasons? Really? Because all I heard is that it's still up in the air for a third season. That's what I heard, is that it's still up in the air for a third season, mostly. That's what it kind of is. It's up in the air for the third season, let alone a fourth season. But what I'd like to see is Randy, find out what the ultimate lesson is, because I'm pretty sure there was more to the ultimate lesson than just a mind wipe. I'm pretty sure there was more to that lesson, more to that ultimate lesson thing. And I would have liked to see more powers, more or less. Third question: Randy versus the non-corrupted Jasper versus non-corrupted Jasper from Steven Universe. Who wins? I'd have to give it to Jasper because she's big, she's strong, she's fast, she's also really intelligent, and yeah, she can take a beating. Yeah. Anyway, so thank you for those questions, Nicholas. Moving on now to George Baldillo. Okay, he just said because he knew I was going to butcher the last name, so I'll just say George. First question: the cast have all have Pokemon Go. What happens? Well, Howard would never go to class, neither would anyone else. And I'm pretty sure Randy would be Team... I want to say Team Valor. He would be Team Valor. Howard... Yeah, Randy would be Team Howard. Team Valor. Howard would probably also be Team Valor. I feel like Julian would be Team Mystic. Same with Teresa. They would both be Team Mystic. Bucky... Fuck you, Bucky. I don't know. I just see them. No one going to class mostly. Second question: need help finding Yu-Gi-Oh! Spirit Monster for Randy and... Oh, okay. Spirit Monster for Randy in a fan art pick. Okay. What was the name of that? There was a ninja duel monster called Ninjutsu? Something like that. But yeah, I remember there was a ninja type character, or even a whole deck of ninja type characters. So one of them, maybe. I can't even remember the name. Anyway. Third question. Same as the second question, but with Zoids. Alright. I guess Randy I guess Randy with what was that? What was the name of the wolf model Zoid? The wolf one. That one for Randy. So thank you for those questions, George. Moving on now to Bryce Diaz, who asks, I've only watched a few episodes and when it came out and wasn't very into it. What did you like about the show? Like I said, it's very hyperkinetic and, I like the humor. But yeah, I already answered this question. Second question, who do you think would be a great swordsman for Randy? I guess for teacher, maybe Obi-Wan? I know it's a lightsaber, but still. Samurai Jack and Randy hang out. What happens? I think Jack would try to teach Randy patience, and of course Randy has no time for that. All right. So there's another question from Austin. All right, Austin asks, "What's your favorite monster?" My favorite monster would have to be, I would have to say possibly the design for Julian's stank form, the giant spider look. Yeah. Anyway. Thank you for that question. Moving on now to 25 Kid, who asks, would Iron Fist teach Randy to master the Kunlun style? Yeah, if he has any patience for Randy, and if Randy has any patience to be trained. But yeah, I could see Danny Rand being the perfect teacher for Randy. Second question: What would be Luke and Iron Fist's reaction to Randy and Howard forming their own heroes for hire? They'd be like, "Dude, stop, 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 stop." No. Third question: how would Randy react to the Hand, Stick, Daredevil, and Elektra? I think he would look up to definitely Daredevil, and Elektra he would see as hot. Stick would definitely be a hard ass for a teacher, and the Hand would scare the crap out of him. Anyway, so thank you for those questions, 25 Kid. First question is, these questions come from Becky Love, who asks, What do you think of a stanked Randy and Howard would be? Randy, I don't know. Howard, we kind of saw him stanked in the... Well, it was more of a monster version of him as a giant frog when he ate all those those soupsicles, yeah. Randy, I always kind of imagine he would kind of look something like a dragon, like some kind of dragon creature. Howard, maybe like a big blobbish creature of some sorts. Alright, second question. Would you have liked to seen a gender bender episode, and how would you do it? Like a one and done? Like Finn and Cake? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know I don't know what I would do with that. Third question. For a third season, would you have liked to see Nama Randy return? Yeah, I think it would be cool to see, like, the dark side of him, but actually get like, it's actually not trying to teach him a lesson, it actually wants to take over his body and be free of the Namacon. So there you go. Anyway, so thank you for those questions, Becky. Moving on now to Burnouter7, who asks, how would a fight between Randy and Cat Noir go? That is a good one, because when you think about it, Randy's power doesn't have a time limit. Cat Noir's does, but at the same time, Cat Noir has the Cataclysm and the bow staff, and that he can extend, but Randy has a whole other assortment of weapons. And like I said, his mask doesn't have a time limit, so I actually might give it to Randy in this fight, now that I think about it. Second question. What would you think of a relationship between... how long would you think a relationship would last between Randy and Irma from Witch? I think that, Irma, if I remember right, Irma was the very sarcastic one, and Randy can be very sarcastic and witty. I don't know, but I think they'd get under each other's skins, honestly. I think they would honestly get under each other's... and I think, honestly, they would, like each other for a while, but eventually they'd just be like, it would just go down in flames, you know what I mean? Third question. What would Randy think of the Stormhawks? I think he and Finn would get along swimmingly, and I think Arrow would have some fun too, but Piper would be like, I hate this fucking guy. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Burnouter. Moving on now to Andre Partridge, who asks, what will happen if Randy met up with the Ninja Turtles? Kinda already answered this one, honestly. Yep, sorry, Andre, I already answered this one. Second question, how would Randy react to the following villains? Shao Kahn, M. Bison, Shredder, Aku, Shendu, Azula, Huntsmaster, Chase Young, and Wuya. I think they'd all collectively kick his ass. He would not be prepared for any of them, sadly. Third question, Randy and Howard decide to go to Beach City for summer vacation and meet up with Steven and Crystal Gems. What happens? I think Howard and Amethyst would be BFFs instantly. Randy would definitely, want to learn some new sword styles from Pearl. And, some fun, fun times at Funland. Can't go wrong with that. Anyway, so thank you for those questions, Andre. Moving on now to Veronica Rodriguez, who asks, where would you place Randy Cunningham, Marvel or DC? I would say Marvel. Yeah, definitely Marvel, because I feel like, yeah, it's a Disney show, and I feel like, yeah, it should be there. Plus, I'd like to see him interact like Daredevil and Spider-Man. What do you think of Randy Julian as a couple? I mean, yeah, I've shipped some same-gender couples from both, I've shipped, Yuri and Yaoi ships, but I don't know, Randy and Julian, I don't have anything against it. Personally, I'm too much of a Randy-Teresa shipper, as well as Randy and Heidi. Yeah, this is one of the few times where I shipped Randy with two people, a character with two people instead, and rather than have just that one ship that I stick with, it's weird, I know. But Randy and Julian, it's cool. I've seen it pop up, and I've read some cool fics about it, but it's not a... I have nothing against the ship. It's just not my style, because I feel like Julian's a little too... what's the word I'm looking for? I think he's a little too wimpy for Randy's taste. Anyway, but no, again, if you enjoy the ship Veronica, that's totally fine. No ill will against you. I just, and while I've read some good fics that involve it, I've never been a big fan of it. Alright. What are your thoughts on Viceroy being McFist's sassy gay friend? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, yeah, I've seen that video, guys. Yeah, like, I just imagine McFist, like, yeah, I can see it now. McFist is about to unleash a new robot, and Viceroy comes in going, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm about to destroy the ninja." "No, hold on, crazy pants." Mm-mm. Yeah. But thank you for those questions, Veronica. Moving on now to Dylan Malone, who asks, if you could put Randy in... Again, answer this question. If you could reboot the series, what would you change? I would not reboot the series, because it was good the way it is. Third question, what games do you think Randy can guest star in? I think Street Fighter would be cool, or him in Dead or Alive, just to see him, like, oogle over all the girls. That'd be fun. Alright. So thank you for those questions, Dylan. Moving on now to Matt Kaiser 08, who asks, if Randy was in Civil War, what side would he be on? I would say Randy would be on the anti-registration. He would not support this, the registration bill. He would not support it at all. Second question, would you have made a proper ending to the series? Yep, totally. How I would have made it? Randy learning the ultimate lesson, like I said. And yeah, why am I answering this question again? Anyway, Shockwave Spider asks, would you love to see Randy Cunningham, ninth grade ninja, in the hack slash video game with gameplay similar to Ninja Gaiden, Devil May Cry? I don't know how I would do that. You mean? Oh, it's a hack slash game like Ninja Gaiden. Oh, okay. I don't know how I would do it, honestly, but I think it would be cool. I don't know how I'd make that game. Second question. Randy Cunningham versus Aku, the Shredder, or Bane. Who wins? Everyone except Randy. All three of those except Randy. Third question. Do you ever describe Randy to be Disney's equivalent to Deadpool? Not really, but I can see where people are coming from with that. If anything, I feel like the real shit talker of of the Disney characters would be Pen. Pen Zero, definitely. Anyway, so moving on now to Awesome Rebel 55, who asks, what do you think would happen if Randy was sent to the Ruby world? Would it be like a Samurai Jack or a bit less serious? Kind of like Samurai Jack, but a bit less serious. What if Randy was a direct descendant to the Noshi 9? Noroshi 9. Well, that'd be cool. I'd like to see that. Randy Cunningham meets Star, Marco, Dipper, Mabel, Daredevil, Samurai Jack, and Spider-Man. What happens? They make an awesome superhero team. Max Gentleman 1 asks, Randy takes up boxing. How well do you think he'll hold up against the likes of the Punch-Out lineup? Probably not long. Randy meets the following villains: Bill Cipher, Lord Dominator, Toffee, Monkeyfish, Shao Kahn, Akuma, and Rippin' and Larry. Aside from Rippin' and Larry, he's going to get his ass beat backwards. Third question: Randy meets a warrior armed with Shengon Wu from Shaolin Showdown. Who wins? I think it all depends on the warrior, really. If it's, I don't know, because you didn't really give me a description other than it's a guy with a Shengon Wu. Who wins? I don't know, because it depends on the character. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Max. Moving on now to Wolfman the Impaler, who asks, Black Mask, Kingpin, and Bellalaika all set up operations in Norrisville. How will Randy deal with the inevitable three-way gang war? It would probably be like that, what was that Batman story? War Games? With Black Mask as the main villain? Probably be something like that. Second question. Randy and Howard are in college. What are they like? I'd imagine they're kind of like Blotter and Otter and Bluto from Animal House. That's how I kind of imagine them. Otter and Bluto from Animal House. That's how I kind of imagine them, because I could see Howard going, Toga, 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 Toga. Anyway, so third question. McFist and 80 Skeletor rear-end one another at the parking lot and have to exchange information. How does it go down? Yeah, McFist, you have ruined my day. Not as much as He-Man. I will see you destroyed. I can do better than that. I swear you people just do this to make me do 80 Skeletor. You people suck sometimes, I swear. It's all good, it's all good. Anyway, any of those questions, Wolfman the Impaler. Moving on now to Sans Santos, who asks, if you were in charge of Season 3, I already answered this question, if there was anything you didn't like about this series finale, yeah, that it ended on a frickin' cliffhanger. I hate when shows do that. If you had to make a spin-off focusing on the ninja after Randy, what would be the main character's name, and how would you make him different? I would say that I would make the... I don't know about the character's name, but maybe... I would go with maybe... I would be fine with either gender, really. Because, yeah, I'd like to think that the mask doesn't just choose guys, it can choose girls as well, so I'd be fine with either gender. The suit would probably be something kind of equivalent to a classic ninja, you know, classic ninjutsu of some sort, and maybe a little more, I wouldn't say, just as carefree as Randy was, maybe. Sending those questions, Sans, moving on now to Fox Mulder, who asks, Randy Cunningham is set in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Universe. What is his deck comprised of? Mostly warrior type. I can see mostly a warrior type deck with ninja-based cards. Wasn't there a whole deck, starter deck that had ninja characters in it? Something like that. So yeah, do that. Alright, who would win in a dance-off? Pen Zero or Randy? Have to give... Well, Randy... I mean, Pen is a master of salsa, but Randy is the master of breakdancing. I call it a draw. Randy gets devil fruit powers. What powers does he get? I don't know. I don't watch One Piece, so I can't tell you. Alright, moving on now to Media Detective, who asks, what kind of manga and anime do you think Randy would be into? Probably something like Guts or Berserk or something of that nature. Second question, how funny would the a noir-style mystery episode would be for the show? Oh, that'd be tons of fun. Like doing kind of like a parody of the Marvel noir stuff, that'd be a lot of fun. Third question, Randy and Batman team up to stop Roz and the League of Assassins from releasing the Sorcerer. How does it go down? I've actually kind of thought of a Batman Cunningham crossover involving the League of Assassins, but it's more like they want to steal the Nomicon so they can unleash some kind of ancient weapon that was created by the ninja to stop the sorcerer, but decide to use it, not to use it because it would probably wreck the world. Shit. So yeah. But no, that'd be a lot of fun, and I'd love to see Randy kind of geek out inside the Batmobile. Yeah, why did the word got away from me? Anyway, so thank you for those questions, Media Detective. Moving on now to Xavier Ford, who asks, do you think that Randy should have his own comic under Marvel? And if it did, would it be his own thing or in the main Marvel universe? I'd be fine for whatever, and Disney's now doing their own comics, so yeah, get on that. Make that the official third season if need be. Second question, who do you think is the better swordsman, Finn or Randy? I would say Finn because he's been around swords longer, and Randy's only been doing this for about a year and a half. So yeah, Finn's been doing this for a lot longer. Plus, he's got that kick-ass sword. Anyway, Randy watches Game of Thrones. What is his reaction? Huh. Glad that ain't me in there. Anyway. Thank you for those questions, Xavier. Moving on now to Shadow Waker 343, who asks, if there was a Disney Cinematic Universe and some of its TV shows, Randy included, are part of that, what's your reaction to Randy Cunningham versus Ursula fight? Well, Ursula's got a lot of magic and make herself grow bigs, but Randy's taken on giant monsters before, so I might give it to Randy. Anyway, thank you for that question. Moving on now to Charles Gorman, who asked, would it be cool to have Randy Cunningham and Spider-Man crossover? Absolutely. I would love to see Randy and Spider-Man team up to just hang out and, you know, fight some bad guys. Maybe Stanked version, the Sinister Stanked 6 or something of that degree. I don't know. Second question. What if Randy Cunningham was trained by the League of Shadows? Also pretty cool, but I think he would be a little more against the whole killing thing. Third question. How would you see Randy in the next 10 years or so? I kind of imagine him, even though he's no longer the ninja, I kind of imagine him still wanting to do good in the world, so I imagine him kind of like a cop or something of that degree. Cop or firefighter or something like that. Alright, moving on now to Andrew Schaefer, who, thank you for those questions, Charles Gorman, and moving on now to Andrew Schaefer, who asks, what do you think of it? Do you think Randy is a fan of Ladybug and Cat Noir? Well, Randy's more of a fan of himself than anyone else, but I think it would be funny to see him and Ladybug kind of get into him and Marinette get into an argument like, oh, so akumatizing, that's just like stanked. No, it's not. I have to, it's a special object that someone gets evilized for and they turn into a monster. Oh, you know what I call that? Stanked. It's not stanked. Yes, it is. Alright. Second question. Howard, by incredibly dumb luck, finds the Nomicon in the school library. How screwed is Norrisville? Yeah, well, he was the ninja for a short time, and it didn't turn out well after Randy lost his memory, so, yeah. Do you think that the ninja and Daredevil would make a great team? Yep, absolutely. Them fighting the hand? Yep, I can totally see that. Anyway, so it looks like those are all the questions. Hope you all enjoyed this. Once again, if I did not answer someone's question, that usually means YouTube either marked it as spam or something else happened to it. And again, if the audio sounds a little weird, sorry about the fan. But yeah, these Q&As do tend to run a while, so yeah, the fan stays on. Anyway, but regardless, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.